It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You tune into your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Have a stretch, just like Wild just did, because it's a wonderful Wednesday. And we really do have you covered in all aspects this morning. We have music, we have pizza, we had smart watches from Huawei. And right now, we're talking about good and bad debt. Now, you know, many of us find it rather hard to talk about our finances. I mean, it's true. We might feel embarrassed or worried about being misunderstood. And lately, there's been a lot of chatter around the concepts of good debt versus bad debt. And especially as we navigate, I think, tighter budgets and rising costs, because, I mean, that's our reality.
Life's expensive right now,
It's too expensive, I'm telling you, absolutely. Some people think, should I really take out a loan for my education, right? I know you've thought about that once or twice. Or even, is it worth financing that new car? It's way easier to get confused about what kind of debt is actually beneficial when you're sitting with it in front of you going, which way do I go?
Yeah, exactly that. It's a crazy world we're living in, but we are here to serve you, Mzansi. So let's break it down. We're talking good debt versus bad debt. What should we really be aware of? This is the dying question. Now, it's something that I think about all the time, because you've got these options of good debt, and I think you've got to understand that for what it is. And good debt to me could be completely different to you.
Absolutely.
I think at the end of the day, it's about that ROI. Are we able to, let's say, invest in our future? What would be an example of that, maybe? Like
education. You mentioned education. I think it's a good debt to invest in your education, because you know this is something that you are investing in to better yourself, to potentially make a better living for yourself.
So bring a bigger income in,
So that for me is a good debt.
Makes sense.
You know, something, a mortgage, you know, it's an investment, it's an asset. Buying a home is a really good investment. Yes, it's a huge amount of money, and yes, it could potentially be also a struggle to keep it up, but if you can manage it, it is a really, really good debt to get into.
And building up your net worth as well.
Especially versus paying something like rent, where you're losing that every month. So that makes sense.
Bad debt, in my sense, you know, personal loans and abusing your credit card, you know, because the credit card, we know it. And even, I think, when it comes to vehicles, a vehicle can be, in my opinion, a good debt, because especially if you buy something that is enabling you to do what you need to do. But a bad debt with regards to something like a vehicle, when you go and you purchase a vehicle that's, you know, you can't afford, but you want to drive it just because it's a cool thing, it's a cool factor. It's lekker, but you're battling with the payments. And remember, you're going to have to upkeep that vehicle. You're going to get stranded at some point if you don't upkeep it. That is a bad debt. Credit card, you spend on unnecessary things because it's easy to swipe a credit card.
I also think about like luxury items. I mean, to your point about that car, it's a vehicle. It's there to get you from one place to another, like a tool. You don't have to go crazy with it. Also, designer bags. We love those. I love me some jewelry, some bags, some clothing. But is it an investment? Is it bad debt that you're getting yourself into to buy that bag that costs 100,000, 60,000 rand?
No, the trap that a lot of people are falling into as well is the online shopping. Because how often do you find yourself just scrolling on these online shopping apps, right? And you're like, oh, I didn't know I need this, but I want this right now. And then you just add it to your cart, and it's like, that's fine. Credit card.
I accidentally put my credit card on my phone, guys. Be careful.
Bro.
It's too easy to spend money when you can just go blip, blip. I'm not looking at anything. I'm just like, cool. You don't feel it.
And
then you look at the month like, oh, what? How did this number get you? I start questioning people. What did you? Did you take my car? So be careful, guys. And I think that's maybe an example of bad debt if you're not being accountable and not spending your money on the right thing.
Can I just point it out? Small amounts. Because in the moment you're like, small amount, it's $200 or whatever. Small amounts add up.
I can verify that. It definitely does.
It gets us for sure, especially items that don't appreciate over time. Food, we eat it, is gone. I'm talking about nice, fancy food, obviously. We don't always have to eat out every night, okay? And that does add up. You're right.
So I think it's really just taking a look at your setup, your life, what is important for you, what you really need to think about to distinguish between a good debt for you and a bad debt. I think that's pretty much how we need to look at it too. So you can empower yourself to make those smarter financial decisions. Now remember, for more financial literacy advice, check out ABSA's YouTube page for their I Grew It series with Tumi Moraka. She's fantastic.
She's amazing.
It's insightful, it's entertaining, and it really helps address those financial questions that we might have. Make sure you take care of your finances.
There are stories of creators, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.